Africans, go back home. Go back home, Africans. I mean, for years, you've been insulted at, blamed, hunted in the streets, and accused of stealing jobs, and treated like invaders on the African soil by these satanic and evil South Africans. Every economic failure becomes your fault. Every political failure becomes your fault. Every crisis is redirected towards you, Africans. Enough. Enough. So, fellow Africans, you must stop pretending that dignity comes from begging to be accepted by the evil and satanic South Africans. South Africans by nature are evil and they are satanic. Hear it from me. South Africans by nature are evil and they are all satanic. Hear it from me. Respect is not requested. It is enforced through self-reliance, economic strength, and political discipline. Go back home. Tell your leaders to isolate South Africa from the rest of the African continent. Close all your borders. Shut South Africa out from the African continent. No South African must be allowed to travel through the African continent. Let South Africans roam just in South Africa, like in a cage. They should not be allowed to travel through the African continent for any reason. Let African nations redirect trade routes, investments, logistics, labor, tourism, and industrial partnerships inward across the continent without South Africa. Let Africa build alternatives that do not depend on South African approval, South African politics, or South African markets. The African continent is much bigger than just one country. The African continent is much bigger than just South Africa. No nation has the right to treat fellow Africans as disposable while still expecting continental loyalty when convenient. How satanic is that? Pan-Africanism cannot survive on speeches while Africans are attacked, humiliated, and demonized by the evil and satanic South Africans. Africa must become emotionally detached from South Africa's internal paranoia and political chaos. Every nation must now focus on strengthening itself, protecting its own citizens abroad, and building economic systems that cannot be shaken by the politics of South Africa only. This is not about revenge. It's about consequences. A continent with self-respect does not continue rewarding hostility with silence. Enough with silence. Africa must harden itself economically, politically, and strategically. South Africa must be isolated from the rest of the African continent. South Africa, anyway, belongs to Europe. South Africa belongs to Europe. South Africa must change its name to European colony. The true name of South Africa is European colony because it belongs to Europe. Africa, isolate yourself. African continent must learn to move forward without the bloody evil South Africa. Anyway, South Africa is European colony. It belongs to Europe.
Sent envoys to African countries, in particular in SADC, over xenophobic attacks. When you were still deputy president, that transpired. What was the responses of some of the African presidents then? Because some of them was like, what is the rush? What is the hullabaloo on these issues of migration at this particular point in time?
Well, in terms of just sending envoys, we will address that more fully when we put our address to the nation. We will be calling on our sister countries on the African continent to join in the whole process of helping us to address migration. Because migration is quite complex. It has a number of elements to it, and we want to address all those elements fully, and they contain tasks that we must fulfill and also asks that we want to put forward to a number of other countries. In the past, we've always sought for others to understand. This time around, we will be saying we want to work together, work with us, and I'm rather pleased that President Mahama of Ghana has been saying he would like to make a call on other African countries to work with South Africa. And that is precisely what has triggered our intention to send envoys so that they can go and explain the type of initiatives, type of programs that we are going to embark upon. Because in the end, this is an African problem. It's not only a South African problem. We are all involved in this. There's various countries on the continent that experience precisely what we are going through. Now, because of the social challenges that our people are facing, challenges of security, challenges of delivery of services, as well as unemployment, it brings a lot of pressure on our people, which we understand very, very well. So therefore, it needs all of us as South Africans, as those who are coming to our country, either documented or undocumented, as well as other countries, so that we work together. This is an African problem that requires African solutions.
I've always been saying that it is better to go back home with your life or to die in South Africa, because definitely you can never reason with someone who is xenophobic, someone who hates you for no reason. You can never reason with such a person. It is never right to kill people only because you see them different from you. That is their only crime. It is never about document. I've been saying this over and over. It is about Afrophobia. It is about Africans. It is about black people. They are targeting black people, the easy target. And we don't know who is funding this organization, this vigilantism. We don't know. So as an African migrant, being it a Ghanaian, Nigerian, a Kenyan, Congolese, Zimbabwean, Mozambican, go back home with your life. It is not appropriate to die miserable like that for no reason. You can do better. You can do well back home. You don't know what is waiting for you back home. You can bright at the corner where you are. Life can make sense when you have peace at any corner where you are. But when you don't have peace, there is no meaning of life. When there is no peace, there's no positive outcome of any life. When there is no peace. And this is life and death. Are you playing with your life? Or you got two lives whereby you lose one and you remain with one? You only live once. And you have to protect this life that you have now. Go back home. I fully agree with this, our African brother. Protect your dignity. Protect your life. You can't reason with these people. They will kill you for no reason. All the accusations are false. We all know that. When they talk about criminals, that African migrants are criminals, they are the criminals themselves. We know that. All the crimes they blame on the African migrants, they are the ones doing those crimes. They are the ones raping the women. They are the ones murdering people. They are the ones looting shops, stealing. We all know that. They are accusing you for no reason. They are killing you for no reason. That is one reasonable point that you need to stand on and reason with yourself, with your mind, with your soul. And you go back home with your life. Please, we are begging you. If you have life, you have everything. There's hope for tomorrow. Return back home. I'm pleading with you. A word to the wise, it is always enough. This is Don Cyrus. Like the video, share it, and drop a comment. I will see you in the next one. Stay awesome.